Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my Starfire Action Battle System tutorial. And in this episode, we're going to be going over two things, and that's the script setup and graphical setup, and lastly, how to set up scale. Well, I've already done this in the previous episode, but I forgot one thing, one thing that just messed it all up. Well, I didn't mess it up, but basically I was trying to get the script working. I mean, the skills working on an enemy, and I forgot that I had the nature of the enemy set to 0. So that means that it can only attack. So 0 means it can only attack, 2 means it can attack and cast skills, and 3 means it can only cast skills. So we're gonna go ahead and set that to 0, and I use this guy to test out to try to eliminate why it wasn't working and why it was working. So yeah, now it should work because I haven't tested this out, but it should work. Should work. And Ralph just keeps on. There you go. Now she's using the skill like we wanted. So we both have the same skills, of course. Yay! Skill fight, skill fight, skill fight, skill fight. Okay, so now we can go over the script setup and stuff. So most of the script setup is basically explained to you. So all you have to basically do is read. Enable voice enables. I'm gonna only go over the important stuff. The rest should just be there for you to know and whatever. So important stuff only. Important stuff only. So default recovery time. This is basically how fast you attack and how often you attack in frames. So if you want it to be fast paced, I would say anywhere between 20 and 30. If you want it to be slower, 30 to 60 or beyond. If you want it to be crazy fast, then anything below 15. So I'm gonna keep it at 15 right now. Kill switch, because when you're using this battle system, when you die, nothing happens. There's no game over, no nothing. The enemies just stop attacking you. You're still technically alive. So that's up to you to determine what happens when you die. So you pick a switch that you want to be activated when you die, and then you have a common event. Actually script what happens. Maybe you want your character to turn around 3 times and then change the his graphics into like him laying down or something like that. Anything you want. And then random factor is the let me go back to the formula for the so the random factor is basically this. Alright, I'm pointing at the screen again, thinking you guys can see my fingers. It's basically this right here, this random factor. So basically how the attack and skills are determined is your attack that you have with being your attack that you set your actor to have, and then plus this random value and minus your enemy's defense. So that's basically how much of attack you're going to be. So let's say you have an attack of 15 and your enemy has a defense of 10. Actually, 10. So basically it's gonna take that your character's attack of, I actually forgot, 50. Oh yeah, your character's attack of 15, and then it's gonna add it to it's gonna add a random value to it. Let's say that random value happens to be 5. So now you have an attack of 20, and then minus the B's defense, meaning your enemy's defense. So basically it's your whole attack power, your whole attack is gonna be 20 damage to the enemy. So that's basically how it's calculated, just to let you guys know. Enable whipping graphics. I don't know why you would want this to be off, but basically you could have this on or off depending if you want to have your graphics of your sword or the whipping that you're using shown or not. I would recommend you have this on. I don't know why you would use an action battle system and you don't want to show your whipping, hitting the enemies and stuff like that. Default skill speed. So this you do have this you do have control over when you're setting up the skills itself, but you will have the default skill speed. So 5 being the second highest that it could go. I'm guessing those are frequencies or either frequencies or speed. I don't really know, but yeah, it's that. So default skill recovery time 30, which is basically again something that you want to. So this default skill recovery time is the same as default recovery time, except for it's for skills, and this one is for your weapons and stuff like that. Skill volume not important, you know what that is. Particle blend type default not important. Enemy view, I'm gonna say that's not important. Enemy nature, I recommend leaving this at 1. Even if you have enemies that attack only or just have skills, I just recommend leaving this at 1. Default enemy recovery time. Yep, that is also something you want to lower depending if you want to have a fast-paced battle system or not. Enemy exclamation, enable enemy blah 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 blah. True, I guess. Minimum distance to use skill, blah 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 blah. Yep. System constant. Yeah, you can't change those. Okay, now pixel movement stuff. If it was up to me and there was an option that says disable, that option would be enabled. But unfortunately, or fortunately for you, depending on who you are, it might be fortunate for you, but for me, it's unfortunate. So auto update event or child set, but it's not important. It's just not important. Pixel, don't even modify this. I've tried to modify this in the past because I wanted it to like be regular squared size, but it's complicated. Just after this part right here, don't even mess with this. So HUD. I'm gonna come back to HUD. Let me see if there's any more things to set up. I don't really think so. Heal players. These are the HUD to the multiple actors are all add-ons. You don't really need them. So I'm gonna go back to I've already done that. Heal player again, add-on. So here you could pick how much you want to heal the player when they level up or not. Again, this is an add-on, nothing major. Multiple actors. You could. I'm not gonna go over the add-ons. I'm just not. I'm gonna go back to the HUD, which is another add-on, but we need this. We need it. Configuration. So basically, here is where you would decide where you want the okay. See the background part? We're gonna get back to that later. So the rest is basically the position of your hold on. The rest of these is the positions of your HUD, the color of your HUD, the size of your HUD, the font size, the font type, the font size, the font color, the color of, I've already said that, and the text that you want written on it, and the location that they are on the map and whatnot. So basically go nuts on this and put the HUD wherever you see fit. But the important part here is a HUD background. Background. Yeah, background. I'm gonna come back to that later. Multiple actors is actually where we need to be going. Okay, so multiple actors. Since this multiple actor is here already, so if you want to change up the HUD background that you have, if you want to edit it or stuff in that manner, this is where you will have to come to set the name of it. If you have a new one, like let's say you have a actor that's that his name happens to be Ralph, and you want to add him to your party, and when you switch to him and you want him to actually show his picture and everything that you have a HUD make for him and everything, you have to make sure to come back over here and add him to the list by doing exactly what I'm doing right now. And then you type in the name of the file, which is I want to name it R real quick. Do that. It must always have the BG. I don't know if that's a requirement, but I'm just gonna say it is. And basically come over here and add it to the scene. That way you could use it later on when you do switch to Ralph, but I'm not switching to Ralph. So yeah, that's it for this episode and for this tutorials. If you want me to go over how to do the more advanced stuff with this system, make sure to leave that in the comment telling me that you want to see more of this system being explained so I can show you how to do most of the stuff done with this is event driven, so you kind of have to know how to invent stuff like this over here. So I've shown you the basics of it, so the rest is basically up to you. You could then use it with your inventing knowledge and invent stuff like this boss battle, which is basically an event. So basically what this does is when you kill the enemy, it turns on locals cell switch A, which is this, and then it wastes a few frames. Yeah, it wastes a few frames and then it disappears again. Turn this event, and then it basically just goes back to this page, and then it basically just respawns him over here. We could actually find where said event location. Basically, I'm gonna guess this is right here, and then he comes again. He attacks you, and then it turns this off. So bringing it back to this page, and then it's gonna come out, attack you. You kill it. It goes back here, and that is gonna keep on happening until, as you can see, it's gonna keep on happening until you actually destroy those crystals. And then once that happens, this is stopped, and then it goes into this page, and then this page is this boss, and then once the boss dies, this happens. So basically, you if you're good with events, you should be able to invent these kind of boss battles. And also something that I might say is kind of advanced would be this bridge thingy right here. So basically, it's not really advanced. All it does is make that into an enemy, and then when you kill it, it turns on the switch number 2, and then the switch number 2 is called enable bridges, and then it also changes the graphics of this, and then the bridge just turns on. Again, they before it's off, and then later on is the sprite shows, and then you can walk across it, and something else that might be, here we go. And then this again is just a regular enemy that only does fire stuff, and then it's just delayed. It's enemy 4, so I'm just gonna guess it's delayed on half. Yeah, the recover is delayed. So yeah, statue 1 and statue 2. So that's what gives it the different frequencies, that one attacks and then the other one attacks. So it's everything is simple. It's just you have to have event knowledge to do it yourself. So it's not anything really that I have to go over. So there are some more complex stuff that you might need to know or might not need to know, but I showed you the basics that you need to complete any game and have it look good. So the rest is up to you to go and figure out yourself, depending if you want to be more advanced in the system. You don't really need it, but it's there for you to use. But that's it for this mini tutorial series of scripts. Thank you guys again for watching. If you've enjoyed this mini series tutorial series and you would like to see more videos like this or be updated every time I release a new video on RPG Maker vs Ace and other stuff that I'm doing, make sure to hit that subscribe button because you will be updated every time I release a new video. And also make sure to leave a comment below if you guys have any more script tutorials you want me to do. Go ahead and leave me a comment below, send me a message, or leave me a comment or personal message on my Google Plus account, which I just launched. And also make sure to like this video because it helps me out a lot. Thank you guys again for watching. You guys are great, and peace.